Today's story is called The Book That Wouldn't Burn. I wonder what book that never burned. Interesting. It's a bittersweet story. Very sad and tragic beginning, but the end is so encouraging, and knowing that this book is the most powerful and very most important book. And prayer has power. So we'll see what happens. And friends, if you haven't subscribed, please do that now and click on that bell so you can receive immediate notification every time we post a new video. Enjoy! The Book That Would Not Burn. How Betty loved her daddy. And somehow, even though she had 7 brothers and sisters, she felt that her daddy loved her best of all. Perhaps that was because she was the oldest in the family and the eldest. And so, of course, daddy had longer to love her than all the rest. Daddy, by the way, was a minister, and among his most precious possessions was a Bible that a very dear friend had given him many years ago. He always used this Bible when he was studying or preaching, and of course in family worship. One day, when Betty and her daddy were alone in his study, he suddenly became very solemn.
None of us knows what is going to happen in the future, but if anything should go wrong, if anything should happen to me...
Don't say that, Daddy. Nothing must ever happen to you.
Of course, we hope not. But just in case if something sometime should happen to me, I want you to have my Bible. It is to be yours always.
Oh, thank you, Daddy. I shall prize it over anything else in my life.
From that day on, even though Daddy continued to use his Bible as he always had, Betty watched over it with special care. Every now and then she would go into the study and dust the book tenderly, then open it, read some message for herself. She felt that it was her book already, and that it would be a precious memory of her father forever. Not long after this, Daddy fell ill. Month after month went by, and he became steadily worse. Then one day, he said goodbye to everybody and passed away. Betty was heartbroken, and her only consolation was the thought that Daddy had given her his Bible, his most precious possession. She left it there on his study table, where it lay surrounded by all the other books in the library, like a king amid its courtiers. Every day she would tiptoe into the room and touch it reverently, silently turning its sacred pages. Tears would come to her eyes as she remembered that this was his book and that he had given it to her. Then, one day, something dreadful happened. Betty was visiting in the home of a girlfriend across the road. While they were talking together, they heard the fire alarm. They went to the window to look out, and suddenly Betty screamed, "Oh no, it's our house! Look at those flames!" They ran outside and tried to cross the road, but already a large crowd had gathered, and 2 fire engines were busy pumping water on the flames, while helmeted firemen were smashing windows and trying to carry out what furniture they could. Betty struggled to break through the crowd, but the neighbors held her back, She appealed to the policeman to let her run into the burning house. "There is something I've got to save in there!" "But child, you can't go in there. It's just a roaring furnace. You'll be burned to a cinder." "I've got to go. Let me go. I've got to go." "No, dear. I couldn't let you go in there. I'm sorry, but it is impossible. See, even the firemen are leaving now." Betty turned away, heartbroken. It was of no use. Of course it was of no use. She could see that. But, oh, her Bible. If only she had stayed at home. Away in the crowd, yet feeling more alone than she had ever felt in all her life, she thought of Jesus. "Oh Lord, save my Bible, Daddy's Bible. Don't let it burn. Please don't let it get burned." She cried, wringing her hands. And so she prayed, while the angry flames roared through the building, turning the home she loved so dearly into a heap of ugly ashes. 2 hours after the fire had begun, there was nothing left but 2 gaunt chimneys and some blackened, smoldering timbers. Roof, bedrooms, dining room, kitchen, living room, all had vanished. It was some time after this before even members of the family were allowed to wander through the ruins. But Betty was among the first. She hurried to where the study had been. She knew the place well, and it was still clearly marked by remnants of half-burned books that had belonged to her father's library. What a terrible sight! What would dear Daddy have said? She came to some charred pieces of wood that she recognized had once been a desk, his desk. With more tenderness than ever, she moved them and peered beneath. She gasped. What on earth was that? Could it be? Could it possibly be? Yes, it was! Her Bible! Daddy's Bible! With a cry of joy, she picked it up and turned its pages with an eagerness she had never shown before. There was not a mark of fire upon it, not the shadow of a burn upon the cover or the inside. I know it is true. Betty herself told me about it, and she told me something else. She said that book of hers, so marvelously preserved in the fire, became the center of the new home that the family finally built. All the children turned to it as never before. They listened to its message as they never had in all their lives. All of them gave their hearts to God. And even today, though they have all grown up and scattered over the world, whenever they come back home, they gaze once more upon the Bible that was saved from the fire, the wonderful book that would not burn. Thank you, friends, so much for watching, and we want to thank our viewer, Kelly, for requesting this story. We hope you enjoyed it, and please, friends, send some more requests, comment below this video, and maybe you have a story that something God has done in your life. Please share that with us and send it to our email, maryandmolly@gmail.com, and we would love to hear those stories. We hope you were encouraged in the Lord, dear friends, with this amazing story about Betty, how she prayed and God answered her prayer. Let us cherish God's word. Let us memorize it, study it, and hide it in our hearts.
And friends, if you haven't subscribed, please do that now and click on that bell so you can receive immediate notification every time we post a new video. And please don't forget to like, share, and comment. Bye!